All right, guys. So here on this Tuesday morning, I have a special editorial for you today. Now, I have a string of editorials to do, so we have no lack of stories for the week. I'm going to be able to give you an editorial every day this week, but this one here kind of stuck out to me. You know, I've heard people say, well, police officers have hard jobs. You know, it's difficult for them. They have emotional problems, stress, anger, just the job just takes them to another level. And I'm going to try to point something out in this editorial, not only about police officers, but about us cop watchers that are out there recording the police for the community. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about yet, let's get to the story. Thank you to the ChicagoTribune.com for this story. A Chicago police officer on the verge of retirement after more than 2 decades on the job was found dead Monday, March 1st in a North Side police station in an apparent suicide, officials said. Officer James Daly had been a Chicago cop since October of 1999 and was assigned to the Town Hall Patrol District, covering communities including Lakeview, Lincoln Park, and Uptown. The 47-year-old officer was found shot to death in a locker room at the Town Hall Station at 850 West Addison Street. Early Monday, March 1st, law enforcement sources said. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office said Daly was pronounced dead shortly before 3 a.m. Police Superintendent David Brown said in a statement, he was a respected and dedicated 21-year veteran and a friend to many in the Chicago Police Department. Today I mourn alongside everyone in the department. His loss is deeply felt by me and his many colleagues with whom he worked for many years. Our deepest condolences go out to his family and friends who are now grieving over this unimaginable loss. Please keep his family and friends in your thoughts and prayers, says David Brown. Sources said Daly, who worked the overnight shift, had been expected to retire this week. Daly's death comes about 7 months after a high-ranking Chicago police official, Dion Boyd, was found shot to death by suicide in his office in the Homan Square police facility on the west side. Daly's body will undergo an autopsy at the medical examiner's office Tuesday, that's today, March 2nd. If the office determines officially that he died by suicide, Daly would be at least the 10th Chicago police officer to take his own life since 2018. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, in an unrelated news conference, said she didn't have a lot of details about the officer's death, but spoke about available resources to help people who are struggling. Lori Lightfoot said the sad reality is that trauma and depression are with us all the time. Unfortunately, that has been exacerbated through the COVID-19 pandemic for a host of reasons. Mayor Lightfoot said for suicides in general, we need to make sure we destigmatize depression and trauma, that we emphasize for folks the array of resources that are available across the city. We've placed a premium on making sure the city is doing a better job in providing those resources on a neighborhood level. Mayor Lightfoot went on, make no mistake about it, this pandemic has taken an incalculable toll, particularly on people's mental health. We want to make sure people reach out. Call 311. Call 911. There's an array of services that we offer as a city to safeguard your privacy and your security. But if you're feeling suicidal, please reach out. You are not in this by yourself. The Chicago Police Department's problem with officer suicides was highlighted in a 2017 report by the U.S. Justice Department regarding the city's policing practices. At that time, one Chicago police official told the Justice Department that Chicago Police Department's suicide rate was higher than the national average among police. The Justice Department probe found that Chicago Police Department's Employee Assistance Program was overwhelmed with just 3 counselors trying to provide services to the more than 12,000 strong police department. Now Chicago Police Department has more than 10 such clinicians per a requirement of a federal mandated consent decree to improve the city's policing practices. And so one of the reasons I wanted to do this one was I hear sometimes, seldomly I'll hear people say, Well, look, cops have hard jobs, man. They got to put up with these criminals. They got to put up with people that don't like them and hate them. They got to put up with these video, YouTube, First Amendment people that, and then you heard me say the other night that, the reason that domestic violence is high among the law enforcement profession is cops are all jacked up from just being out there enforcing the law, being an authority, and they go home jacked up and they slap their wives or kick their kids or, beat the dog because they're jacked up, stressed out, But here's the thing. Now, I do feel bad for anybody that feels depressed, feels suicidal, feels traumatically stressed out. It's sad. And being the person of Christianity that I am, I would want to reach out and help those people. But there's two sides to every coin. There's a heads and a tails. And so on the other side of that coin, police officers and law enforcement officers have to remember that when you're acting like an ass towards a cop watcher, when somebody's just standing there with a camera recording you, and especially if they have a credentialed press media pass on, whether it's a freelance journalist or somebody working for a news outlet, you have to understand when you act like a jerk to that person, because I'm a cop and I have a badge and you'll obey me or I'll arrest you right now, buddy, because you ain't listening to me, that person gets stressed out too. You see, now you law enforcement officers can feel the stress we have when we're just trying to record the moment. We're just trying to get the scene, and you start acting like a jerk because you say, "You're in my crime scene, buddy. I'm going to arrest you." Our adrenaline spikes at that point. Our stress level spikes. We all of a sudden become emotional. And what the heck is this guy's problem, dude? Like, whoa, decaf. Less red meat in your diet, And I'll take the Rialto, and this is pretty much coming from that incident with Rialto police the other night. They were very rude. All the guy had to do was say, "Who are you?" Well, when I said I'm the media, "Oh, could you go over here for me, please? Just, back over there." But instead he goes, "Hey, get over here. You're in my crime scene." Acting like a jerk. But then they want to cry that, well, we have stressful jobs. That doesn't give you a license to be jerks to people on the street. That doesn't give you the license to be an a-hole to people out there on the street just because, well, you know what, I have a tough job, man, and I'm stressed out. Well, then go see a psychiatrist or go get another job that's not going to stress you out. Because I myself am trying to be more humble and more caring and more appreciative in my recording of law enforcement. But one thing I won't tolerate is disrespect from law enforcement when I'm just simply standing there respectfully capturing the moment. I will not tolerate disrespect from law enforcement.
I expect and demand your very best.
Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to reciprocate the respect that you give me. I'm also going to reciprocate the disrespect. So while I feel bad for these officers that feel they have to take their lives, you law enforcement officers that may see this video need to remember something. We also get stressed out. We also get emotional when we're just trying to record the scene. Why do you need to record the police? Why do you even need to record the police? For two reasons. One, especially here in Yucaipa, California, cops who don't have body cameras, we're the only ones capturing the truth. And if somebody starts lying on the cop and there are no body cameras around, most of the time they're going to believe the law enforcement officers, but still that cop has to go in and explain. If there's a video on YouTube, his boss can watch it and go, "Oh, okay, I get what happened. Yeah, it's right there." Two, the other side of that coin, when cops do things wrong and start lying and say, "Oh, I forgot to turn on my body camera. It's okay, man, I was on the sidewalk recording. I got it." If law enforcement officers continue continue to lie on police reports and violate people's civil rights and abuse the departmental policy, we're going to continue to record you. If criminals, you're not getting away. If criminals continue to lie on police officers who are just trying to do their job, we're going to record you. This isn't just about recording cops to make them look bad. This is about recording the moment, capturing that moment on recording and digital recording for me, and showing that this is what happened. Regardless of what the two people say that were in that interaction, this camera right here will tell you what happened. And I don't edit it to fit a narrative. If I edit anything out, it's usually a boring blah, 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 you know, or sitting there waiting for the cop to write a citation. That's usually what I edit out. The monotone, the monotonous, just, you know, that's usually what I edit out. I'm not going to edit something out that's relevant to the story and needs to be in there. And if you don't believe me, nothing I can do about it. All I can do is tell you the truth. Community Leo Watch. Thank you for watching, guys. And remember, if you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, if you say, I just can't do this anymore. If you're a law enforcement officer or anybody else on this planet and you say, I can't do this no more, email me and we'll talk.